All right. You're welcome, everyone. I've been talking about this SOP review for a while now, and then today is a good opportunity, a good day to give instructions on how to submit the statement of purpose. And I just want to give some specific instructions based on what I've experienced in the past with people submitting. Okay, first and foremost, I love to have the SOP written in such a way that it is ready. Now, I've seen some people in the past because they just add there is an SOP submission, they just quickly write something very fast and then they didn't give enough time to go through it. So I'll just give a guidelines of what I expect to see in your statement of purpose if you are submitting. All right. If you are submitting an SOP, I expect you to order in which a normal SOP should be written. Let me see if I can find. There's a YouTube video I make on statement of purpose, how to write and the likes. That video has actually helped a lot of people. So if you have not seen the video before, let me put it on this Twitter space so that you can see it. Those on YouTube can actually search for it on the YouTube channel. It's a very popular video, how to write your statement of purpose. Okay, statement of purpose. How to write statement of purpose. Yeah. So those on YouTube can quickly search it. You will find it there. Let me see. Where is this? Okay, this. Yeah. So I'm sharing it to this space now. Yeah, how to write a very beautiful video. A lot of people have watched it and then they they gave their good comments about it, how much it has helped them. So of course, basic thing you find in the video is just about how to write the SOP paragraph by paragraph. So number one, I expect that your SOP should have an introduction. Okay, the introduction is like the problem statement. It's like when you say what's the problem I'm trying to solve, it became familiar, or how you became interested in the course in which you want to study. Okay, it can also be that how you became interested in the course you want to study, or the course you are currently studying, or whatever you are doing. Okay, basically, and some people do not have a story in that sense to tell. It can also be just a problem that is well known in your field of study, and then you are trying to find solutions. For example, someone who is doing abstract or algebra may not have a story of I became, I went to the hospital, I saw people who were sick, and I became passionate, blah blah blah. They may not have that type of story. So you want to talk about a problem in your field that you're trying to solve. Probably just say, oh, algebra, blah blah, algebra something. There's something about algebra or ODE equation, and people need a method to be able to solve it, this and that. So something like that, it can be in your field too. Okay, I think I have another video and some other tweets on statement of purpose that actually address paragraph one, so you can look for that. And paragraph two, of course, you want to tell us how you have moved along the line of your interest. Okay, what have you done? What have you studied? What are the courses like? The courses you've studied in school that have prepared you for this level, to be able to follow through with an MSc or a PhD. You want to tell us about those things, okay? You want to tell us about the research you have done. If you have done that, can be in two or paragraph three. You want to be able to tell us about those research which you have done. Okay, so those are some of the things you want to look out for. You want to be able to tell us about those research which you have done too. Then or probably a professor that you've worked with, skills you've gained. Okay, now you want to move on to talk about skills you've probably gained too. It may not necessarily be a research skill, it may be a tech skill that will be necessary for your research. You want to talk about those things. Those are some of the things those who are reviewing your SOP want to see. And then, of course, you want to move on to the fourth paragraph or so to talk about the university you're applying to. Okay, talk about the university, talk about the fact that the things that interest you in the university, the professors that interest you, that are catching your attention. You want to talk about those things, those research work that the university is doing that is attractive to you or that makes you want to consider the university. These are some of the things you want to talk about. Okay. Nathaniel, daddy is busy, please. Okay. So mommy will give you that. Go and meet mommy quickly and close the door. So you want to be able to talk about all those things. You want to talk about those skills which you have gained, which may help you, okay, even in the research work which you are doing. Those are some of the things you want to talk about. I was talking about the school. So you want to talk about the things that attracted you to this, okay? It may be a research work, it may be a professor, it may be a research facility in the school, okay, maybe a research facility in the school. You want to talk about it, why you are interested in it. For example, in FSU, I talked about magnetic laboratory, which has the highest magnetic powered lab in the world, is in my school, okay, FSU. Those are some of the things I talked about. I think I remember I have another video on statement of purpose which talks about my own statement of purpose. You can find it on YouTube if you need that. I also had two or more SOP that I read also on YouTube. You can find it there if you need it. So those are some of the things you want to talk about in that paragraph 1. Paragraph 5, you want to talk about your goals. After doing all these things, what are your goals? What are your long-term goals, short-term goals? What are those things you want to do with your study, with what you are doing? I reviewed an SOP a few days ago. It was 2 or 3 days ago, and the person was giving, just jokingly, the person was giving the feedback. I said, "You didn't write all these goals, blah blah." The person said, "The goal is to jackpot." I said, "So go and write it there. You won't write that in your SOP that the goal is to get a PR. No, that's not the type of goal you want to actually write." Okay, so these are the things you want to talk about. You can check this video on how to write SOP, I believe, because some people submit their SOP and it's not in any good shape at all. So before you submit your SOP, I want your SOP to at least be in a good shape, at least in a good shape. Let me see if I can find that SOP sample on Twitter. SOP sample. Okay. I have one there. Yeah. So I just shared one to the space session now. So you have 2 or 3 videos there which can help you. Now, number 2 thing I want to know again is that I'm not reviewing SOP for those who are applying for 2023 admission. Okay, I'm only reviewing for those who are applying for 2024. So I don't want to submit your SOP and you are staying on my neck that you must get it tomorrow or you must get it next week because deadline is closed. Maybe deadline is April 15 or whatever. So I'm only doing this moment for those who are applying for 2024, either spring 2024 or fall 2024. Okay, so I'm not doing for those who are trying to apply for 2023. The admission is almost closed for many schools. Okay, it's almost closed for many schools. So it's not the person I did for recently 2 or 3 days ago. It's actually 2023 because she has applied to that school and they were only waiting for ISOP and the like. So, but for general people, I'm just doing for 2024. So if it's not 2024, if it's 2023, please don't send it. It's just for 2024. And I'll give you an email to send it to. I'll mention the email in a few minutes. But while writing your message, while sending your statement of purpose, I want you to include in that writing. Because sometimes one of the things I do is to share samples of SOP with people, either in a format that I read or I share it as a document, a Google document for people to access, just to know what the sample of an SOP is. So I want to write in that letter. I mean, yeah, it's a letter. Let's call it a letter. In that email you'll be sending, if you want me to use your SOP, okay, I just want your permission because I shouldn't do that without your permission. So I just write it in that message if you want me to use it as a sample. And if you want me to change names or whatever, some details in the SOP, if I'm using it as a sample, write it in that message which you are sending to that you want me to use it as a sample. And then but I should change details about your name or whatever. If you don't care about the details, like I can use it that way, that's fine too. Just let me know what you think when you send that email. Okay, so by the time I review it, it is what has been reviewed. That is what I will share with people, maybe future folks who may want to what do you call it now, apply to schools and they're looking for samples and the like. So include that in the email. And the email basically that you'll be sending your SOP to is Sam Free SOP. No. Trash that. Sam SOP Review at gmail.com. I'll come again. Sam SOP Review at gmail.com. Let me confirm that I'm correct. Okay, Sam SOP review at gmail.com. That is the email you'll be sending your SOP to. I'm repeating it again. Sam SOP review. Sam SAM SOP review. Okay, Sam SOP review at gmail.com. And usually the reason why I'm not just writing it so that nobody goes on Twitter and write it, the reason why I'm not writing it, I'm just throwing it this way, is because there are a lot of people who are pursuing for SOP review, and I cannot review everything. So this is just for those who are not too busy to attend the space session or to join live, whichever way, and then just to get the SOP review. Already we have in total like almost how many people listening together? This is like 40 people already. So if 40 people are sending, 40 or 50 people are sending SOP review, it's going to take a while to do that too. Okay, so Sam SOP review at gmail.com. That is where you will send the SOP to. And please include in that email you'll be sending, if you want me to use the your SOP after it has been reviewed, if you want me to use it as a sample for people, other folks in the future who are looking for SOP samples around everywhere. I mean, I've shared different people, SOP of different people. So some of those SOP blessed you, so you know what it means when you see someone SOP as a, and if you want me to change details about name, school you attended, the course or whatever, write it there in the email. Let me know if you want me to do that. Okay, so I will come again with the email samsop.review at gmail.com. All right, let me see if there's any question before we leave. I've said it's going to be a very short one, very short one. Okay, so I think someone wants to ask a question. Let me, Johnson, quickly you can ask your question, and then we'll be able to end the space session. Okay, Johnson, I just accepted your request. So quickly ask your question. Okay, I think we lost Johnson. Okay, and then it seems nobody's asking any question. All right, that's very good. On YouTube, if you want to ask a question, just quickly put it in the chat box. And if there is no question, I think it's a good 15 minutes spent already. Okay, any question? Any question? All right, it seems we are all good. So no question. All right, thank you so much for joining. I'll be expecting to see your SOP, but please note before you last time there are some people who just wrote a general SOP. They are not directing it to a particular university. Okay, Ozioma, I see your message, so you can ask a question if you want. So they were not directing it to a particular university. Please be ready to apply to a university before sending your SOP. No, don't just send something general that, oh no, this and that. No, please be ready to apply to a university so that you can write it properly and address it to a university, particular research, and all those things. Those are the things I want to see in your SOP, not just a general thing, and then you have to start correcting that you didn't write to a particular university. Okay, Yemi, let's quickly have you. Yemi, quickly. Okay, I lost Yemi again. Okay, is there? Yes, let's have you, Yemi.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. It's quite a wonderful moment. Please, what I just want to request that can I get a sample for SOP for application for PhD economics? Though I have one, but I wish that if you could connect me to those in economic fields. I think that is my field. PhD economics.
Okay,
so that if I can
yeah, so I can make a
and that can easily guide me through in order to put my own in the best way. I think that's my question. Thank you very much.
All
I
right.
really appreciate it.
All right, so very much. And make sure I must have reviewed an economics. If I check my email, I must have reviewed different economic stuff before, but I don't have the permission of such persons. And there are some I've shared before. If you start my timeline, I've shared different SOP before, samples before, but I'm not sure if there is economics there. So just go through my timeline, go through my past tweets on SOP samples. Just you know how to search all those things on my profile. Just search it and see if economics is there. And if it's not there, you don't necessarily need it to be um, an economics to be from economics for you to be able to make your own SOP. Okay, you can get from medicine, you can get the idea from any other type of SOP, and you still be able to make sense and write something beautiful. So it doesn't have to be economics. Okay, it doesn't have to be economics, but search my timeline and then search those samples which I've shared before and see if there is economics there. But even if you can't find it, it shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be a problem at all. So, Immaculate, that should also answer your question. You are asking almost the same question with what Yemi just asked. So it doesn't have to be economics. It doesn't have to be economics. The people you see can actually help you, and it will go a long way. And it will go a long way. Okay, so it doesn't have to be economics per se. Okay, but search my timeline, search. I have someone even on YouTube, search my Twitter, search everything. Some samples which I've shared before, check it, and then you'll be able to find it. And then Asha, you are asking, is there a closing date for the review? When will I stop accepting SOP? Will it end when you receive a certain number? Okay, the last time I said I wanted to receive 50, but I ended up doing more than 50, maybe 100. I can't remember. It's a lot. And after a time, maybe after like 3 months or so, I got tired. So just so that you see, because I don't want to put so much pressure on yourself and then write anything that does not make sense now. So I'll still give the timeline for at least 2 months. Okay, at least 2 months. People still continue submitting for like 2 months before when I will stop, I will announce it that I'm stopping, whatever, and then another time when I will begin again. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. I believe that answered your question, Asha. Okay, so Oshebe, you're asking, do I have any material for GRE? Yes, I have material for GRE. I've shared some on this YouTube before. You are asking on YouTube. I've shared some on YouTube before. One of the videos, just type GRE materials or something. I think I shared the link under the video. And then yeah, Magoosh videos. In fact, I shared some Magoosh videos. Okay, so those are materials for GRE Osebe. I shared some Magoosh videos. So look for it, you will find it. Magoosh videos, very beautiful videos. If you're on Twitter too, you can search my timeline, Magoosh videos, or just search GRE materials. You should be able to find some of those materials which I've shared for GRE preparation before, even TOEFL, IELTS, whatever. I've shared all those materials before. Olufemi, I will be able to review just one of your two SOPs. So just follow the instruction which I've laid out and send it to me. I'll be able to review just only one. Adedayo, I've given the instruction to join late, but let me just make a recap quickly before we end. So what I've said is this: you submit to samsopreview@gmail.com, and then I gave instruction on what to do. I'll just give a brief of it, and then you can go back to the video and watch it to see what I've actually mentioned or explained. So while you are sending it, I want to write in the message if you want me to use your SOP as samples for others. Okay, when I finish reviewing it, many people will be needing samples even years to come. So if you want me to use your SOP as a sample too, when I finish reviewing it, write it there. And if you want me to change some details, if you want me to change some details in maybe your name, the department you're applying to, and those other things, yeah, you can mention it there. Maybe name specifically, not necessarily the department and the other things there. Okay, so mention it there. And I also gave instruction on how to structure the SOP. You might want to listen to this again because it's a lot. I mention things that should be in your first paragraph, second paragraph, third, fourth, fifth paragraph are things that you should actually write there. So you might want to go through this again or check some of my tweets. I've actually explained this many times, how the SOP should be structured. And I also said that be ready to apply, not just that you are thinking, okay, let me just write something, because but you are just writing something, you are not ready to apply, you are taking the spot of another person who is actually ready to apply, and I might not be able to get to many other people because of you. I I saw some other people, I saw some people who did that the last time, or some of the last time. I know someone who already had someone else review the SOP and is giving me again, and I was reviewing on the comment of what another person has reviewed, and I didn't like that, and I told the guy that that is not right. What he has actually gotten someone to review for him. Why waste my own time trying to review what another person has reviewed, reading the person's comments and the like? That doesn't sit right. That did not sit right with me, because he has taken another person's spot. Okay, so please, that should not be the case. Make sure you are ready to apply to the school you're applying to. Write about the school. Don't just write something general and say this and that. No, write about the school. Let me know the school. Write it there. Be specific. And I've given that guidelines, and then I believe you will follow. TS is an English test. GRE is just a general standardized exam. Okay, so they serve different purposes. IELTS is to test your English ability. I made a video differentiating all the different exams, so you can look for it and then get understanding. On Twitter too, I made different tweets explaining that. All right. Let me take one more person before I end this space session, and then before we leave YouTube too. So KKT, quickly, you can speak.
Okay, good evening from here.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, my question is very simple. Does the SOP have to be specific for United States? Can it be for probably DAD application or Fulbright or CSC application?
Yeah, it can be that too. I review those two. Yeah, it can be that too.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're very much welcome. Akon, quickly your question.
I want to ask if are we sending in a Word document format or PDF format?
I prefer Word. Okay, I prefer Word. It's easier for me to just open. If it's PDF too, that's fine. There's a way I review it without, but I think I prefer Word. You're welcome. Okay, as quickly. Oh yes, Baba. Okay. Oh yes, Baba is not there. All right. All right. So oh yes, let's have you.
The email that you gave out just now, I didn't quite get the email, so that's what I want to request for again.
Sam SOP review at gmail.com. SAM SOP review at gmail.com. Okay, and just follow the instructions as I've laid it out, because if I can't see those things which I've mentioned in your SOP or in your message, I'll just skip and go to the next person who has followed that instruction. Okay, Precious, you are the last person. You are the last person I'm bringing up. Precious, let's have you quickly. Precious, are you there? All right. Yeah, Precious.
Yes, sir. Please, I'm just coming to the space. I just wanted to get the mail that was SOP. My network fluctuating.
Okay, so this is what you do, Precious. I've mentioned the email, but you need to follow the instruction. If you don't follow the instruction, you will not be able to. I won't consider reviewing it. I'll just jump to the next person who has followed the instruction. But I'll mention the name Sam SOP review at gmail.com. Sam SOP review at gmail.com. It will do you good if you listen to all this all over again. Okay, so that you can grab listen to the instruction. The instruction is very important. Okay, very important. So I advise you listen to it again. We will end in like 2-3 minutes. We will end in like 2-3 minutes. Listen to it again. Ephraim, you're asking the same question that people have asked. How do you submit? just listen to this again when we stop so that you follow the whole instruction. So that you follow the whole instruction. All right, I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. I'll be expecting to read your statement of purpose. I get excited when I read statement of purpose too. It's usually interesting. Not just that I'm correcting grammar, whatever. I'm also learning. When I read it, I learn a lot of things about different fields. Okay, and I learn a lot of things about people too, the situation of people, and joining from Ghana. Thank you, Prince. Kabuda, of course, yes, yes, yes. You have a stipend already, $28,000. That's sustainable. I mean, people get less than that. Some people get 20,000 and they're living well. So in dollars, yes, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. All right, thank you guys. God bless you, real good. Have a nice night if you are in Nigeria. And those of us on this side of the world, we still have some time before we say good night to each other. God bless you, real good. Ending on Twitter and then ending on YouTube. End.